ever gotten in trouble is over stuff that I've written. So this is a story about something that I wrote that got me called in for police questioning. So about 10 years ago, when I was way less mature than I am now, and way more deranged than I am now, I had a boyfriend, and I had just gotten a new job that finally paid enough that I could move to Manhattan to be close to him. So that was really good. But on my first week of moving to Manhattan, I lost that job because of the whole .com debacle. And he also broke up with me to go back with his ex-girlfriend. So after dating him for a year, I was really devastated. I was in the 6th floor walk-up apartment in Hell's Kitchen that now I could ill afford, and I didn't have my boyfriend who I came all this way for, and so I was miserable. Luckily, I got a temporary job, but a lot of the time I was in this office was downtime. There was nothing for me to do, but I was making a lot of money, like $35 an hour, so I wasn't going to quit. So a friend of mine suggested that there was this new thing on the internet called an online diary, which now you would know of as a blog, but this is before that. And so I started this online diary with all this downtime, and I started chronicling the mishaps of being a single woman in Manhattan, and I started talking about the theory of the big three, like how you couldn't have a boyfriend, a job, and a good apartment all at the same time. So the minute you got two, you automatically lost the third, and it all came crumbling down. So I started writing about this, and also in my downtime, I started Googling him, and basically cyber-stalking him, which is so wrong, but for this story, it's very right. So there was no Facebook, no MySpace, nothing like that. So I would Google him, but nothing came up. And I know that the woman that he left me for was a therapist, like a psychologist. So I asked a friend of mine to call her and pretend to be a potential client and tell her that, you know, she was seeking a very specific type of psychologist, that her issues were that she had a commitment-phobic boyfriend, so she would only agree to go to a therapist who was married or recently engaged. And this way I would find out if he had gotten engaged to her. And so, oddly enough, she said to my friend on the phone, you know, I just got engaged. I might be the therapist for you. So that leads me to believe that she's nuts out of her mind, just as nuts as I am. But now I know they're engaged. So I'm chronicling all this online, and I'm getting this big following. Tons of people are leaving me notes. And so this kind of fuels the fire for me to think about what to do next. So because there's no kind of Facebook, I look up their registry. And I pore over every item on this registry, and I see exactly what kind of place settings they're getting. I see what colored bath mat they get, and I'm getting more and more insane. So like, there were no Facebook updates 10 years ago, but there are registry updates. So I see that another place setting was purchased, that more people are sending them best wishes on the not.com. I'm getting more and more crazy, and something has to be done. So I put all my time and energy to figuring out how to disband the registry. Because the thing is, at this point, it's not so much the apartment that I can't afford or this crappy job. It's something tangible. The registry is something there at 3 o'clock in the morning I can go to and actually look at and see what he's doing. I can trace his movements. So I hatched this harebrained scheme where I call Macy's, and I try to explain that I need to cancel a registry, and they say, oh no, you know, you can go online with your password and you can just cancel your registry. And then I say, well, I'm not the bride, I'm the bridesmaid, and something horrible has happened, so horrible that I can't tell you. But the bride is devastated, and I've asked her if she's asked me if I could just handle this for her. So Macy's deletes the registry. And so I'm feeling so fucking brilliant. I feel, now I'm kind of over him. I am. I finally, like, it's been a long time. I had a goal, I met it. My job is getting better. I have thousands of followers on this online diary. And so, of course, what do I have to do? I have to chronicle on the diary what I've done. You know, so not only do I know I'm brilliant, but everybody out there knows I'm brilliant too. So I do this. And so I'm over him, I'm feeling good. It's been a long time, and so I decided to take a vacation, which I do. And I get back from this vacation, and I'm kind of half asleep, and the phone rings, and it's a detective. And he tells me I need to go downtown for questioning. And I'm really nervous, but I kind of don't know what it is, but I kind of know what it is. And so, so I asked him if he could pick me up because I'm still kind of sleepy from my trip, and if I'm gonna get arrested, like, I think that they should come get me. And he's like, no, you need to come downtown. And then I start thinking, well, you know, the police station by my house is actually uptown, but you know, the station is always downtown, and every time you watch something on television, you know no good can come from going downtown. So he says, look, you sound tired, it's fine, we can schedule an appointment, but you need to come in for questioning. So I have a week, you know, he gives me an appointment in a week, so I ask everybody I know, some attorneys, some judges, you know, and basically they say, well, you don't have to say anything, but you should probably just go down there, don't say anything, don't admit anything. And so one would think that I would just delete everything I've written, but instead I start chronicling what's gonna happen at the police station. And I start, you know, I should be thinking about maybe getting a lawyer, but instead I start writing about, like, well, what does one wear to go to police questioning? And I start thinking, well, maybe a business suit. But then I'm thinking, no, like, some of the best traits I have are my looks. So I start, but I can't wear anything slutty because then they might think I'm like a hooker. And so I decide on cashmere. I show up a week later with literally a bag full of thousands of dollars just in case I need to post bail. And I bring a big book thinking I might be there for a really long time. And so I bring War and Peace thinking it's really applicable to what will go on in jail. And I could possibly, like, I know the story well, I could possibly tell the other prisoners. Anyway, to make a long story short, the detective does absolutely nothing. He pretty much laughs it off, lets me go. When I get home, I Google the detective. Turns out that he was the first police blogger who's very pro First Amendment rights and who later got fired for blogging.
KRETH!